This single piece of paper is the Donald Trump tax plan. It's not a bill. It's not a study. It's not a plan. There are not even complete sentences in it. There are sentence fragments in it. It's not even a press release. But it's got a few key ideas, apparently, that he's asking the Republicans in Congress to lead us to pass by tomorrow in order to make the 100-day deadline, which the president has disdained and castigated. But he wants to make the 100-day deadline because he understands now that there's some kind of milestone that he wants to suddenly be able to achieve on. Well, what's in here? Well, first, the Treasury Secretary, Mr. Mnuchin, set out a test for tax reform in which he said there will be no absolute tax cut for the upper class. Well, this plan totally defies that promise. It betrays that promise. It provides a huge tax cut for the wealthy, while middle-class families receive very little benefit at the same time that social programs are being sliced and diced all over the federal government. We also know that the tax plan will provide a huge benefit to Donald Trump himself. Now, we know this only because one of his tax returns leaked out suspiciously, and some think from the White House. The 2005 plan, which appeared on TV, nothing before that, nothing after. But even taking this 1 year, which presumably is most in the president's favor, President Trump would save over $28 million in taxes under the one-page plan that got passed around Congress today. Most of that money comes through the reduction of the pass-through business income tax rate, reducing it from the 30% range to 15%. But then it also proposes abolishing, and I know it because it says right here, bullet number 3, under bullet number 5, repeal the alternative minimum tax, okay? He wants to repeal the alternative minimum tax. Now, what is this AMT? Okay, AMT does not stand for all money to Trump, okay? AMT stands for the alternative minimum tax. And what it means, if you're super wealthy and you got an army of lawyers on your side and you can structure your corporate bankruptcies and your personal business losses, of which President Trump has many, in such a way as to make it possible for you not to pay any taxes for a long time, the alternative minimum tax says, well, there's something that everybody's got to pay. There's an alternative minimum tax. We're not going to let anybody's clever lawyering bring them below a certain rate, okay? And on that rule, we know that Mr. Trump, in that 1 year we know about, 2005, you probably saw it on Rachel Maddow, on that 1 year he paid millions of dollars only because of the existence of the alternative minimum tax. In other words, all of his deductions and corporate bankruptcies and clever lawyers' tricks that got him down to zero, presumably in all these other years that he won't show us, none of them could stop him from having to pay something. Because the alternative minimum tax says, let's not press a good joke too far. We understand you're very wealthy. We understand that there are loopholes that have been injected into the law, but we're not going to let anybody fall below a certain minimum threshold. You could think of it kind of like equivalent to the minimum wage for working people. The alternative minimum tax is kind of the minimum wage that the wealthiest people in the country pay us, as opposed to escaping all of their taxes. Well, Donald Trump now wants to abolish the alternative minimum tax. He just wants to get rid of it.